what Coinbase, one of the things that we're trying to do is essentially make payments just work. And
if you're a developer and you don't have at least one shelf full of
slowly adapt to the building and have the building adapt to us. And so that's what we've been doing. The first thing, one of the things we did was we actually, we put servers in it. That's about 5 petabytes of the primary copy of the Internet Archive running. So this is it. There's another exact copy in either Richmond or in Redwood City, a partial copy in Amsterdam, and a partial copy in Alexandria, Egypt. For real. These are serving live queries. Every time a light blinks, it's either somebody uploading something or downloading something from the Internet Archive. We get about 3 million users a day, between 2 million and 3 million users a day. We're about the 200th most popular website. So I've been designing supercomputers my whole career, and I just love that the lights actually mean something. So that's what these are. You notice there's no air conditioning here. It turns out you don't need air conditioning for computers. You just need good open airflow or taking care of it. And it drops your power cost by about half. And you notice also you're not in a co-location center or in the cloud, wherever the fuck that means. And the idea of going and trusting the cloud with data that you think is really important to you seems like a really dumb idea to us. So that's why we build and run and house our own machines. We have other places in the building that have these machines that we have. We use in one of the rooms, we actually take the output, which is about 95 degrees. We go into our furnace, which we keep the gas turned off, and we use it to heat the building. So we use the energy twice. I think that we're the only data center that has over 100% energy efficiency, because we use it for the computers and then we use it again for heating the building. No, we just open the windows. So it turns out that computers are designed for being with humans, right? I mean, this equipment is basically office gear, right? Disk drives are designed for offices so that they can deal with 120-degree Fahrenheit input temperatures. And in fact, you probably know that, because if you go into these sort of super hot shit data centers with retinal scanners, whatever, there's some corner of it that's boiling hot. And they still work. So the key thing is to just control your airflow, and you can drop your electricity cost by half. Anyway, but so the Internet Archive is about 20 petabytes of data now. Who's used the Wayback Machine? You use this thing? Okay, so you type in a URL and see the web the way it was. That's about 450 billion web pages now. We crawl at about 1 billion pages a week. And it's a database, if you will, of 450 billion. It gets queried at about 2,000 times a second. And it's used by about 600,000 people a day. We also host books, music, and video. We digitize books at about 1,000 a day in scanning centers around the world, and we give everything away. We're kind of a big experiment in that sort of Wikipedia sense, or the EFF. Internet Archive, Mozilla, can you build a service, a system where you give everything away? And it's a real puzzle, you know, and it's not obvious, right? When you take your core product and give it away, can you make that go? And we get paid by libraries to turn pages or libraries to collect web pages, but it's really by donors. People like you might be up for donating or helping, volunteers. It's about 40 people core staff, another 100 people that work in these scanning centers. We're about $12 million a year. And overall, I'd say we're a bargain. But that's sort of, and we're hiring. Actually, he's hiring. He's the head of engineering is hiring. So that's sort of what the Internet Archive is here to do. I built it, I started the place almost 20 years ago now, and the idea is to try to solidify the open world, right? Go and fill in the pieces that aren't being done by others, and try to make it so that at least there's durable services that are able to support the open world that wasn't being done by others. And so that's what the Internet Archive has evolved from. We make a little statue. So I'm over there next to Aaron Schwartz and Ted Nelson. But basically, it's people that are dedicating their lives to public service, or at least dedicating a few years of their lives to public service. And in a nonprofit, there's no goal at the end of the rainbow. It's not like, oh, you're going to cash out and hooray. You know, you basically get to some other types of rewards, like you believe in what you're doing. You're able to talk about what you're doing. We don't do non-disclosure agreements, that kind of thing. We try to live in the open world. And one thing that nonprofits can do is say thank you. And this is basically the people that are spending years of their lives in a town that's best known for get rich quick to doing something else. So it's mostly tech staff here that does the stuff. So some things about this place that's kind of, you know, I talked about our credit union. Here's our ATM, which is kind of cool. We figured out how to hack the display because you can. And so that's kind of fun. So please do support our credit union. Hey, there's Roman. Yes, you helped out.
That's the entire staff.
That's. Huh?
That's the entire staff.
Yeah, so our robot staff here of the credit union. Yeah. So this is our Bitcoin ATM. Yes, it is an honor-based ATM. So you use a little bread wallet on the phone, or you can use multi-bit on the computer to go and either put Bitcoins in and then put money in, or take money out and put Bitcoins in. And so it was just a mechanism to sort of help the people at the Internet Archive be encouraged to go and take some of their pay in Bitcoins, that they can actually move it back and forth. So feel free to use it. And as I said, the sushi place next door, I eat several days a week on Bitcoins, which is, just all around fun. So a good thing to do, like buy the container full. We're also getting better at storing physical objects. We thought we'd really stay with bits, because physical objects get unwieldy, and they do. But libraries are starting to throw things out at a velocity. So when we were scanning books and making those available, often there were people that didn't want the books back. So we figured out how to go and store them ourselves. So we put them in. We tag them with catalog records. We put them in boxes on pallets in shipping containers surrounded by warehouses protected by nonprofits. So it's sort of layers of protection to try to do this. We filled up one warehouse already in Richmond, and we bought another one. So we've got a couple million books now, 5 shipping containers full of films. We just got 50,000 long-playing records, 40,000 78 RPM records, so we're starting to get better at sort of dealing with physical objects as well. But it's tricky to do this. We're going to try. Designed and built our own, open sourced it, and the professional grade digital cameras, museum grade lighting. You pedal through a book, and then always you press a pedal, raises and lowers glass to go and flatten the page to get a really, really good image. So it's a really color accurate and flat and sort of excellent image. Then you go through this, go make sure that there's no missing pages or double pages. We put them on the cluster. About 12 hours later, it does all the optical character recognition, compression into about 12 different formats, puts it into for the Kindle, and makes it so that it's bulk downloadable. So the idea of having people come and borrow or download 100,000 books, actually not borrow, if it's public domain, you just have them. We create tools to do this. So the work that Aaron Schwartz got arrested for are things that we actively encourage people to do. It is how research is done now, is you go and have your computers run over a lot of these things and do different kinds of analyses. And that's sort of at least a use case that we try to actively support. This is one of our television nodes for how we collect television. We have satellite dishes and cables coming in here. There's a bunch of these around different places around the world, and it basically picks off the channels by tuning into the different ones. It breaks it up into UDP packets that are put back together again by the Linux machines back into a program stream, chopped based on electronic program data, so that we have one program per item. And then we create a smaller web viewable version. We of course keep the original MPEG-2 because we're obsessive. And then we try, if it's in the United States, we can go and take the closed captions out of it so you can make it searchable, so you can find what people said in the program and find the particular clips that is going on. We've been using this to help track political ads and political campaign spending. Most in the Philadelphia area was our trial in 2014. We'd like to expand it countrywide. Just go and basically see what happens when you inject billions of dollars of people's money into television advertisement. And so we'd like to shine a light on what it is that's what's going on in that way. The red machines, I'm sort of talking fast because I bet you want to get back to beer. There's red boxes on the back. Those are before our black boxes. We actually bent the metal to make that. And it was, I think, the first open source computer. We gave away all the plans, but it got us a ways towards building machines in a shipping container. So we wanted to basically make data centers out of shipping containers. And Sun ran with that idea, as well as Google. Sun gave us one of their shipping containers, so we put our computers in it, and we actually have the Wayback Machine running out of a shipping container, which was completely fun. So we actually got to say, how big is web? But you have to ask, how big is web?
How big is the web?
It's 20 feet by 8 feet by 8 feet. It weighs 26,000 pounds. And if you divide it out, it's about 80 micrograms a hit. So that's sort of what the web is. There's a sign there. Oh, there's now boxes in front of the first couple of digits. It's the anti-entropy of human culture. It's what people have done to organize things. It's at least some percentage of the creative works of humankind are represented in that, because we're getting, we've got about 4 million books out of. We're starting to get into sizable percentages of everything ever published, and that's kind of a set of it. So there's Friday lunches, as I mentioned before. Please come back as a way of sort of engaging with this place. I'm Brewster Kale. You can send me email or whatever, and just so that we can generally keep a general count. But if you're still just wandering around the neighborhood and you have no place else to go on Friday at noon, please come. Just try to find out how you can kind of plug in some way, or how some of the ideas we're doing might be useful to you, or what it is we should be doing. In general, all the projects here start by going and saying, you have to do this, and said, you're enabled. And this is sort of how we get things done here at the archive. We don't have the best we have to offer on the internet yet. I mean, if you know something deeply, there's Wikipedia pages, there's stuff, but there's not, unless I guess it's, Bitcoin documentation or something like that. But if you know something in sort of the real world, right, that might have some, history over the last 100 years, it's probably in books or in newspapers that aren't there yet. And I feel a great deal of urgency that if we don't have the best we have to offer within reach of our kids, they're going to learn based on whatever it is they can get a hold of. And right now, it's kind of Wikipedia and a lot of corporate crap. And so we've got to move on and get this thing over and up And so we're throwing ourselves at it, and we could use help.
Literally been here, and that's like portfolio.